there, hey, and welcome to this Friday pod of Born to Be a Star. Today is a day and another opportunity for you to recognize your star power, for you to recognize that you can do anything you put your mind to. Maybe not anything. I don't know why you'd want to be a politician, but if you want to sign up for that job, go ahead. If you want to serve and give your life up to be in the Army or the Marines or any type of service, go ahead. The Navy, there's so many other things, reserve. There's so many options you can do with that. If you want to be a doctor, that just seems like a lot of work. Like, I appreciate all those that do focus and study, all the nurses that do all the hard work that they do. But you could just be you, and that could be anything. That means you could be a production assistant, or you could, I don't know, work in the financial world, or you could do anything. You could be a writer. I don't know. Whatever you want to be, you could do it. Whatever you want to put your mind to, you can accomplish it. You want to join a gym? Go find a gym and join it. Whatever you want to do, put your mind to it and do it. I'm here to tell you to never give up on yourself either. The world might tell you that you're not good enough, but I'm here to tell you that you are. I'm here to tell you to look in the mirror, look at your reflection, look at where you've been, and look at where you're going, and love yourself. If nobody loves you, love yourself first. Because if you can't love yourself first, then how are you possibly going to love anybody else? You can't think about anybody until you think about yourself. Facts. Moving on to the next part of our conversation, we have a lot to talk about today. Today is Friday, and we want to get ready for this wonderful weekend we're going to have as we get closer to Christmas. It is, I can't believe I'm saying this, December 9th. I feel like this year went by kind of fast. I don't know. How do you guys feel? Just a question. Figured I'd ask. Let's get to no media allowed, no media allowed, no media allowed, because they lie to us anyway. So I'm going to do a fire starter just because there's a lot of things that are aggravating me with the government. The deal that Biden made for Brittany Griner was idiotic. He gave up somebody that admitted he was going to kill Americans. The trade wasn't actually a trade. I think that Vladimir Putin used the stupidity and the desperateness of the United States to con us, right? You thought it was more important to save a black gay person that plays basketball versus teacher and a Marine. How does that work? Because they're white and she's black? I'm confused by that. Her life doesn't mean more than their lives. It doesn't. And she got caught with drugs in Russia, and Russia isn't like the United States, so I'm not giving her sympathy. I heard somebody say yesterday, oh, you got to factor that she's been there a long time, so she probably experienced a lot of things. Then maybe she shouldn't have brought the drugs with her. And then I had to hear somebody say, well, she didn't know that was going to happen. Well, then she had to pay the piper for what she did. Why are we allowing somebody that's a bigger threat to the United States to go to Russia? Where are our, prerogatives here? Why aren't we thinking about more important things? The world is in a nice place. It's not. America keeps making stupid, idiotic decisions, and now China's making deals with Saudi Arabia, and America can't do nothing about it. I'm sorry, if America wants to do something about Green New Deals and electric vehicles and all this stupid, idiotic crap, here's the first thing you should probably be focusing on. Let's get to it. First, if China and India aren't going to be a part of it, it's not going to work. Those are the countries with the most people. And India is about to outdo China. Second of all, the United States doesn't have enough children because our country isn't producing children. You know why our country isn't producing children? It has a lot to do with the fact that, I don't know, let's say 50 to 70 million people were aborted in this country, predominantly in the black community, just to let you know that. Wonder how that works. So, how's that feel? Yeah, how's that sound? Yeah. How's it sound to have people go after you and tell you, it's okay, this is about your woman's rights? Honestly, it's not, though. The United States is an abomination of whatever it used to be. It's a joke. Everybody's laughing at us around the world. No one takes us seriously. Biden can't keep his eyes open. He's napping on the job. He's lost outside the White House. He can't walk upstairs. He's confused, senile, old, lost, deranged, and an embarrassment to the world, not just America. No one of any cognizant sense is going to want to talk to him about anything. And I'm the first one to tell you that all politicians suck, because I agree with that. I think that there's people in sheep's clothing pretending like they care when they don't. But let's not lie about what just happened with Warnock and the other person, whose name is somewhere lost in my mind. We knew he wasn't going to win. You know why he didn't win? Just how the other people before him lost. They did not put enough money in his fund for commercials, and he had way too much going on. Now, I'm not going to side with Ben Shapiro that wants to go hard and all like moldy and difficult on Trump. I'm not going to do that. There's some things I agree with him, but it's not all Trump's fault. Let me tell you what happened a couple weeks ago. America decided that they wanted tyranny. America decided that they want things to cost more money. America decided that they don't care where their tax money goes because they care more about Ukraine than they do America. America decided that they don't care if people go on strike for their jobs, or less kids are going to college, or more people just don't care. America just gave up. These people that are voting, some of these people don't need to have rights. I mean, for God's sake, we had Chuck Schumer come out and say that Americans aren't having enough babies, so we need to have foreigners come to this country to help with that. Don't you think something wrong is going on here? I keep asking myself because I'm puzzled by this. Now you got a computer program that's going to sound more logical than people here. That's also a thing. There's a lot going on here, and this is just the fire starter. America's lost. It's not the first time, and it probably won't be the last time. But who exactly does America represent? Because I don't feel like it represents me, because I don't even know if I'm actually free. Am I actually free to speak my mind? Because it's likely I'll say something and then somebody else will tell me that it's wrong for me to say it, or they'll do some social thing where they'll tell me I can't say anything because I don't understand people's social views. I don't give a fuck about people's social views. I care about mine and my family. It's eat or be eaten. Like, it's a rough world out here, and you're going to learn one way or another. All these spoon-fed babies living with their mommy and daddies, and they can't do anything by themselves, that are living off of people, need an awakening, okay? It's a rough world, and unless you figure out how to survive in it, you're going to die in it. That's it. That is it. There's no handouts. There's no 1, 2, 3, let me show you how to do this. The government promising things to people so they'll vote for them is likely against the law. Nancy Pelosi admitting her husband did insider trading. They did really shitty deals, and they wrote really bad legislation basically all of 2022, and we're in a recession. So now they've made up what the definition of a recession is, right? I'm sorry, Biden is a horrible president. This Democratic Party doesn't know what they're doing. The Republicans should have taken control, but they had bad people, and Herschel Walker was way too much. And John Fetterman, a man that can't talk, beat a doctor, an actual doctor. How does that happen? Even in the state I live in, the Democrats beat the Republicans here. I mean, we could have guessed that. How do these people win? With lies, like AOC, she needs to get stamped over and replaced. Like, we need to elect people in office that aren't just going to talk about things but do things. Like, we need to call these people every day on the phone and demand that they do their jobs. Because if they're going to get elected into these roles and then they're not going to do anything, then they need to be removed from the roles. Like, basically, these politicians take money from people and lie about what they're doing. I'm still not understanding why AOC needs a Tesla. Someone explain that to me. If you're working for the people and you're propping up progressive thoughts and you're all behind Bernie Sanders and all this insanity, you shouldn't have a Tesla. You should have a Prius. Why don't you have a Toyota? Why don't you do something that's a little more economical, especially for the place that you represent, right? Why don't you be about your word? Why do you need all this money? Why do we invest all these things in a Democratic Party? Why was the guy that ran EFT the second highest supporter of the Democratic Party? It's all connected. Dr. Fauci's daughter works at Twitter. I don't know if she got fired. Hopefully Elon Musk fired her ass, but we'll figure it out. They're all woven in. The lawyer from the FBI was at Twitter monetizing what could be let out during that leak that happened on Friday a week ago. These are sleeper cells and they're waking them up. And that's just the ones that we can see. Now they're talking about robots being able to take over your personality. If you've seen that show Westworld on HBO, I'm kind of starting to think, what if this already happened to us? What if this is the Matrix and we took the blue pill instead of the red one? And we're all just in a game that keeps replaying over and over and over again. And everything we're saying is an illusion of reality. And I'm not saying that this isn't real, but I'm saying, what if we're so easily manipulated that humans were already taken over? Would we have seen that coming? Would we be able to acknowledge that? I don't know if we would be. I think we get so caught up on things and we're so addicted to worshiping stupid things. How many times have I told you how idiotic it is to worship people or someone with power? That's not smart. I've said it many times. It's not just me saying it. The Democratic Party was ranting about defunding the police. Now in primarily Democratic places, everybody is running wild. There aren't police there saving anybody. That's why these people are robbing Walmarts, robbing corner stores, and gas stations. And you know what? Until things get really worse and there's like complete blackouts and we're in like a deep depression of gray and there's nothing and there's no money and there's nothing. Until something really bad like that happens, like 2008 again. Everybody's just sleeping. Do you understand what's happening in America? The government has failed. There's no money. We're in debt. Trillions of dollars. And China has more power than we do. And you know who gave them power? We did. Who thought that was smart? Who? Everything that's made in America says it's made in China and Taiwan. Everything. Please understand that. This has been your almost extended version of No Media Allowed on this Friday. And I want to push you, my listener, to ask yourself, what do you listen to? Well, obviously you're listening to me, so you're kind of smart. What TV shows are you watching? If you've looked at all the Matrixes, if you've watched all the seasons of Westworld, what makes you think they haven't already targeted us and taken our bodies as hosts? What if we've already been taken over? Because if the Democratic Party, not just in America, but all over the world, is able to weasel their way into positions of power and lie to us and take our money and tell us that medical for all is great and all these communist ideas are excellent, and then basically zero out any kind of profitability and make things go bankrupt and then walk away like they never did anything and never take any responsibility. How dumb do you have to be to just allow that to continuously happen? What trend are we setting for children, right? Man and man doesn't equal child, and man and woman doesn't, and woman and woman doesn't equal child. I'm not saying you can't adopt children, because anybody can do that. But what I'm saying is things have to change, and we have to change it. Because we don't, we're doomed. And we have to be the people that are questioning these people. I like to set myself apart. And the reason why I spend so much time talking about the media and politicians and frauds that are out here lying to us is because I really do believe that somebody has to tell you the truth. And that somebody is me. And not just me, but Jason Woodlock, Daily Wire, so many other people. Conservative values, conservative views, Christianity, right? The idea that God does exist. The idea that you can love a religion, whatever it is. You can like that, whether you're Jewish or you're Catholic or you're any other religion, really. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with believing in something or going to church or getting on your knees and bowing to God or whatever you believe in. I'm here to tell you that it's okay to do that. And it's okay not to care about what anybody else has to say. Because the media will lie till its last breath if that means it makes $1. And I don't do that. And I never will. Next part of our conversation. Our voices make a difference. Our voices make a difference because in the end, we have the power. These politicians work for us. We don't work for them. Granted, they take our tax money and I don't know what they do with it. I still don't understand why we're still paying for things for Ukraine. I still don't understand a lot of things that happen in the country that I live in. I wish I did. It just really makes me wonder how these people get away with these crimes. Like taking the money from the American people to spend it on what? If we're paying all these high taxes, why aren't things as nice as they could be? At this rate, I've paid all these taxes for all these years I've worked after I graduated from college, right? Where's my Tesla? I wonder. Why are you giving money to programs for people that don't work and don't do anything? Our voices do matter. We need to keep calling these people out, not just politicians, not just the media, but we need to call out schools. We need to call out our environments where we live. We need to call out everything. We need to call out people when they're trying to rip us off and charge us a ridiculous amount of money. We need to call out insanity and call it what it is. Insanity. We need to call things out, and we need to be the voice of reason, and we need to be the voice of understanding. And until we talk about these things together and we have cognitive conversations, whether we agree or disagree with each other, we're not going to get anywhere. Our voices do matter. And as much as they try to silence you or tell you their views about social things and societies and people's feelings and all this, and you can't have an opinion, and in corporate settings want to tell you that basically your opinion has no value, as much as that happens, your voice still matters on a bigger hemisphere than that. And you have to understand that. Your voice matters with your vote. So if you want a difference or you want a change, then you have to make the change. You can't think it's just going to happen. You have to be that change. And I want to advise you to be that change. Next part of our conversation. The politicians want us to be dumb, except we're not. We know everything they're doing while they're doing it, and they can't hide themselves. Nancy Pelosi's husband is a very creepy man, and his lover got mad at him, and he reacted. That wasn't anyone that broke into the house. That was all fabricated lies. And they did a really bad job of pretending like it was something that it wasn't. How idiotic do you think people are? I mean, Dude, it was either CNN or NBC or one of those news stations called it out as they saw it. And that they did actual journalism. When they did the actual journalism, we saw what happened. Granted, the politicians work hand in hand with these social media websites like Twitter, Meta, YouTube, especially probably TikTok, which you don't need to go on and delete it from your phone, like I tell you all the time, because that's the way China gets to spy on your activity and get all your data. Are you bored? Get off of it. I don't even know if you should really go on Reddit. Maybe, but not a lot. Be careful and get a VPN. Like, I'm not getting paid. I don't do sponsors here, at least not yet. But get Express VPN, right? Go online, order it. You're not going to get a discount if you use my podcast. Maybe you will, but if you go in there and you put in Dan Bongino's name, you'll get a discount. Get a VPN, man. Protect yourself, right? So they can't spy on you, okay? That's another part of it. The politicians think we're stupid. They think we're not paying attention, and they think it's 1970. And it's about fucking time someone wakes them up. It doesn't just have to be me. It has to be us as a group, because we're not stupid. We can see what you're doing during the daylight. Pretending that Nancy Pelosi's husband's an actual danger and he isn't is pathetic. Joe Biden willing to give up an actual criminal for Brittany Griner just shows you how idiotic he is. There's no hope for these people. They need to go away and never come back. Just retire. Stop. Stop running for re-election. Stop trying to voice your elderly opinion on a population of people that don't quite care anymore. Your values don't match up with ours, or our children, or us. I'm not 70. I'm not old. It's not 1965. It's 2023. Wake up. We can see everything you do while you do it. You're not hiding anything. You are the most crooked, corrupted, smelly, stinky, greedy people in the world. And everybody knows it. And everybody will admit it. And it's not just me. There you go. The politicians think we're stupid, but the only stupid people in the room is them. Just saying it. Because at the end of the day, they still need you to vote for them to remain in that position. And when you wake up and you don't vote for them anymore and they get booted, just like Liz Cheney did, but she's still talking all over Twitter about Trump because she can't talk about nothing else. That's an example of what I'm talking about. She didn't do what she was supposed to do, so she got rejected. But she's still talking about Trump because she doesn't have anything else to talk about. That's what I'm talking about. That. We're not stupid. They are. Understanding growth. Understanding growth means you understand that some things are going to change. Everything isn't going to stay the same. Some people come in your life for a reason and some people come in your life for a season. You can't get attached to things that aren't worth it. You're going to have conversations with people and they're not going to get some things you're saying. One, they might be uneducated. Two, you might just be talking to someone you can't have a conversation with. Growth is understanding that. An example is the fact that I have a master's degree. So, like, in some ways, I can't talk to people about a lot of things because they're just not cognitively on the same, like, hemisphere as I am. So, like, some people might know certain subjects very well, but then they don't understand the full stream of everything together. And I'm not trying to say that people are not as smart as someone else. And I'm not even trying to say I'm like Albert Einstein smart, but I'm incredibly like intelligent, right? I'm just saying. Like, you can't just go to a master's program. It's like the requirement for a master's program is a bachelor's degree. It is. What I learned in my master's program, outside of the fact of how important education is for children and the structure of teaching them and implementing things for their growth and their journey of education, which can be used in other areas just outside of educating children grades, I think it was K to 8th or ninth. What I learned outside of that during my student teaching, everything that I did, is that once you gain more education, you begin to understand you're separated from others. And it doesn't even just have to be the fact that you go to college. Sometimes you just can't talk to people about certain things. Growth is understanding that you're going to be different from others, and that's okay. They're going to be different from you. Some people know more things about things I know about, and sometimes people care about things more than I do. Like, let me give you an example. Some people are history buffs. That was not my favorite topic in college. And granted, I paid attention to Western Civ, but it wasn't my favorite topic, and I didn't love it. I liked biology more and math. I also liked my communication courses because I love the idea of film and studying video. Well, not video, but studying like cameras and like how to talk to people, reporting. That was my thing in college. Comparing that with what I learned with my master's program, it gave me the understanding of people, communication, and like how to adapt my skills into any situation and utilize it. I don't really care about history. I'm not going to lie to you. It's not my thing. Like, I'm all about the United States of America and the fact that we have a Constitution of the United States of America. Do I know all the Constitution things or all our amendments by heart? No, but I can tell you that I am definitely free in the United States, and I don't like the idea that people want to tell you that you're not, and I don't like the idea that people want to give you all these opinions about things when they technically don't know about stuff. That part does irritate me. I'm not going to lie. You have to understand that you're constantly growing and learning and prospering and moving forward. You can't let yourself get taken backward. That's basically what I'm trying to say. Next part of the conversation, you can't teach people unwilling to learn. Like, I just told you about how educated I am. The fact that I listen to a lot of news from a lot of people every day. I do, right? I have a big amount of podcasts I listen to every day. I think I listen to around 7 podcasts a day, right? Primarily podcasts because I don't want to really give any of my time to YouTube because I have my own reasons for just not being on there like that. It's my own personal opinion. I don't like how they treated Dan Bongino and a lot of others when they spoke the truth about COVID. So I don't really want to support YouTube. And I was going to create a YouTube channel and do all these things and, create this ability for me to basically monetize my podcast and make money off of it. And at some point I'll get to that and I'll start building out the actual podcast and doing the videos to it versus just talking. I will do that. But you can't teach people things that don't want to learn. Like, I don't want to learn about history. Like, I learned about history. I learned about different variations of history when I was in college. And I quickly realized I just don't really care about it. Like, I care about it because it's important. But part of me doesn't really care about the history of the United States of America because I'm living in the current of the United States of America. And the history of the United States created an opportunity for the United States to become primarily a place that doesn't actually care about itself. In a dark world that's just a bad place, the United States wants to be Batman. But the United States isn't Batman. The United States is Daffy Duck. Like, it's not the same thing. You can't teach somebody that just wants to be like stupid and stare at a wall how to learn. And I can't be the one to tell people the importance of education because if they didn't go to college when they graduated from high school, then they don't understand. That's why you have to go directly to college after high school. It should be a requirement. Like, you should either know that you want to go right into a specific area and you want to focus on that and you want to work there, or you should go to school, or you should join the army. It should be you want to do a internship, right? where you basically work for free and maybe you'll get a position after you do like an internship or you start somewhere part-time to get your foot in the door. You should go to college directly, or you should go into the army. You have to do something. And I feel like people don't want to learn because they just think they're going to figure it out when they don't do that. And I'm not saying that college is required. I've gained so much from my education, and I'm happy that I went to school because it's made it's made things easier for me. I like routine and I like following schedules, and I don't know how I would exist without that. That's why I went directly to college when I graduated high school. It wasn't a thought for me, am I going to go to college? Yes. And I did. So there's that. Um, some people just, they don't care. They don't want to learn. They don't care. They think that they're right, and they've just given up on the idea of anything, actually. I'm not that person. And I'm willing to accept the fact that people don't want to learn, so I can back off and not be a teacher to them. I love the idea of teaching children because I think children suck it all up like sponges, and that's what intrigued me about being a teacher. The look of light and hope in their eyes when they're learning about something that they're just hearing about at the beginning of the school year in August, when they come into the classroom and they become your children. That's what sucked me into it. It wasn't everything else. It was that. Their little eyes looking up to you as they sing their alphabet and count to 10. Or whatever numbers after that. There's adults that don't learn like that. And sometimes they have to learn the hard way. But it's not your responsibility to fix that. You have to understand that just because somebody doesn't want to learn doesn't mean you have to teach them. You might know more than a lot of people, but sometimes it's important to just let people dig their own holes. And I think I get caught up in that a lot by always feeling like it's necessary for me to say things. I think I'm going to revert back to being silent and kind of being in my own zone, really. That's kind of where I'm going to revert back to. I'm not saying I don't want to talk to people and I don't want to be active and I don't want to be vocal and I don't want to have an opinion and I don't want to share my thoughts, and I'm not saying that. I'm saying in certain situations, in certain environments, I've got to learn that some people are just stupid and you can't fix them. They don't want to learn, which is why they didn't do anything and they just thought they were going to be given stuff. Like, you can't do it. Moving on to the next part of our conversation. Sexy Beasts. That looks like an okay show. I don't know. Do you think that sounds like a good show? Maybe. Dating shows. I don't know. I watched Are You the One? And I watched like almost every season of that. The latest season, it's okay, but I feel like some of them are a little crazy. I don't like the idea that they hook up with each other and it's like a game, so they're trying to win the money. Like, I understand they're trying to find love, but they're also trying to win money. I feel like they should like play the game and not get caught up with each other so like quickly. Like, aren't they trying to figure out who they actually belong with? I don't feel like a lot of the seasons I looked at that they're doing that, and I've told you that multiple times. It's like on The Bachelor, I don't know why they get so like emotional. Like, I can't believe you didn't pick me. Like, what are we talking about? And there's a lot of dating shows. There's the brother sister match show. There's all these other ones. There's Top Pick. There's all these dating shows that are everywhere, and like, honestly, we have to do better with picking these shows. Unsolved Mysteries looks like a good show that I might want to watch. The Mole, that's on Netflix. My top pick on Netflix right now, I'm trying to finish. I don't even want to talk about it. I'm sad. We're almost done with it. I'm going to cry. I don't want the show to end. It's so good. So good. But we're almost done with one show on Netflix. I really haven't found another one I want to watch. I still have to start Lock and Key. I legit saw like 5 minutes of it and I haven't gotten back to that yet. I'm just always so busy watching other things. I really need to commit to something and legit look at it. Like, I really need to just stop messing around and go back to Lock and Key and watch all of that. I am going to get to that at some point. I definitely need to start Lucifer too. I keep saying I'm going to watch it and then I never watch it. There's so many things on Netflix I really need to get back to, but there's so many other things that I've been watching with Skip. Like we started Tulsa King. We started watching those Chucky episodes. Chucky is crazy, but very entertaining. I'm a horror enthusiast, so anything scary, I want to watch it. We finished The Peripheral. That was good. So many movies, so much is available. You have to remember to finish things you're starting, and I feel like that's extremely important. I am behind on Lucifer, and I need to get back to finishing that, because I don't even know how many seasons I'm off with it. Fake to Win saga looks very good, and that does look like something I would definitely want to look at. But before I can start any of these other shows, I really got to finish Lucifer, and I need to finish Lock and Key. Like, those are my top two go-tos. I was thinking about going back to that witch show. What is the name of it? But I don't know. I don't think that's for me either. Like, I don't know. I don't know. Anyways, moving on to the next part of our conversation, outside of the fact that Fate and Win looks really good. Let's move into food. Cheesy salsa. Meaning you put more cheese and salsa in it and you put it in one pan and you cook it there, or you throw it into the deep dish and you let that marinate. Delicious. Gotta try it. Oven baked goods. I'm going to not lie to you. I don't make like cakes from scratch. I don't do any of that. I am not a Food Network person. I like watching Bobby Flay, but there's no way I could probably beat him. Maybe if I tried really hard. I consider like taking the Pillsbury Doughboy cookies and putting that in the oven and making that, or doing any of the rolls or anything they have. That's as far as baking goes for me, or just going to like a local pastry shop and buying it. Like, I could pretend like I made it because I looked at it, but that's as far as I'm going with baked goods. I'm not trying to like be like a baker or any of that stuff, because I'm not, and I'm not going to feel bad about it. Maybe I could have gotten into baking, but I didn't. It's not my thing. And I have a KitchenAid, but I'm not using it to bake, so I'm not going to lie to you. Chicken pasta of your dreams. That's what it's called on Pinterest. Don't judge me that I just said it. If you want to look it up, put that in the search bar on Pinterest and see if you can find it. I'm telling you, it's there. You probably might like it. Alfredo dreams. What is an Alfredo dream? It means like loads of cheese and Alfredo sauce mixed with whatever pasta you want. Whether you want tortellini, which is a number one at this house, or fettuccine, which is one of my favorites, or angel hair. And I know you're thinking, angel hair? Yeah, I like the thin pasta, but mostly with like shrimp and like seafood. Totally a shrimp girl. I'm going to say I do like Alfredo. I could eat it every day. It's delicious. What is a lasagna roll? So a lasagna roll is you boil the noodles, then you take sauce and ricotta, you mix that with some chives, some arugula or whatever lettuce you want. You mix that in together with an egg. You get it prepared like you're going to make an actual lasagna. You get some sauce and you roll it up. So first layer is the lasagna noodle, the sauce, then the cheese, then you repeat. And then you roll it up, and you roll them up and you put it into like a glass like container that goes into the oven. It's like a tray. And then you do a circle of that, right? So you do a big like glass like circular like oven container. And then you can make one or two of them, whatever you want. And then after you fill the whole like tray up, then you put sauce on top of that, and you put like mozzarella all on top of that. You put that in the oven, you let that bake for like 45 minutes, and you just made lasagna roll-ups. That's kind of easier than making actual lasagna, or you can make that lasagna soup I told you about last week too. I like try to like I want to make recipes that are like simplistic. I don't want anything that's complicated because I work a lot and I don't really have time for things that take a lot of time. Also, while we're talking about food, I switched to Factor, and I know I was questioning it, but I switched to it because it's going to make my life easier. I'm getting 6 meals a week. I'm starting off with it at 60% off, and then it's going to go to $70 a week. And I know you're thinking you're going to spend $70 a week on food. Well, why not? Like, I probably spend that on food anyway, so what's the difference? At least this way it's already made, and all I have to do is shove it in the fridge and eat it. Like, I don't want to be spending my time cooking things. That's the reason I got Factor to begin with. I wanted an easy way to stay regimented with a diet, either keto or, eating more healthily. And this gives me that opportunity, and I'm getting back into the gym, and I'm getting back on my Peloton, and I really want to be better with my life, and this just gives me an opportunity to do that. So I'm taking that initiative all on my own. Carbonara chicken. I don't know. I saw a recipe for it. Maybe I'd try it. We'll see what that tastes like. Anyways, pour yourself some wine or some Chardonnay or some champagne and click the glasses together. And cheers to you for an amazing week that we had and an amazing week that we're going to have next week. I hope you have an amazing weekend. I will be at work, and I'm also getting my hair braided tomorrow. So hopefully that'll be fun for me. This hair journey is fun. I reverted from blonde bombshell platinum life back to brown because the platinum was killing my hair, and I'm sad I did it to myself. But now and again I miss blonde. So like, I don't know. Like, it's all just hair problems. Anyways, thank you for tuning into this pod of Born to Be a Star. And I will see you not tomorrow. I'll see you on Monday. Don't forget you're a star wherever you are. And never give up on yourself. I'll never give up on you either. The only way you can see in the darkness is with the light. And you are the light. I'll see you guys on Monday. Have a wonderful weekend. And don't forget to love yourself too. Bye.